Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. So before I even talk about the 4-hour chart, I want to go to the Bitcoin chart on the weekly because here we had a very bullish move to the upside, as you can see, from $110,000 to about $125,000. And why is this important? Because if you look at the RSI, we got above the moving average right there, which is a very good sign, and this is telling me that the low is probably already in, which means this was the bottom at $106,000 and we are probably not getting another low. Now, why would we get another low in the first place? Because we had a cross on the bull market support band, and usually after we get a cross like this, the price goes down because the red line went above the green line. But I think this time it could be a bit different and we might not get a drop, just because usually after we get above the moving average on the weekly RSI, that's telling us that the low is in. For example, it happened over here back in April. We got above the moving average and the bull market support band, and that confirmed that this right here was the low, and that's exactly what we did last year as well. As you can see down there, we got above the moving average on the weekly, we tested it, and that's pretty much what confirmed that the low at $49,000 was in. And this happened multiple times. It happened like 5 times in this cycle. It even happened somewhere here if I can find it. So down here somewhere, as you can see, we got above the moving average. However, here we got below it slightly, but then we still got above it, and that's what confirmed that the low is in, and that's what pretty much gave us new all-time highs. So I don't think Bitcoin is gonna drop to $100,000 anymore. In case you still think that my prediction is, that we're gonna do that, I don't think it's gonna happen anymore. But we might test the moving average on the weekly RSI. And in this cycle, I mean, we have never really been, rejected by it. We never really got below it after getting above it. So I would be surprised if we did it this time. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Bitcoin is gonna be at $160,000 by the end of October if it goes up as much as it did in the other post-halving years, for example, 2013, 2017, and 2021. So I think we are good. And before I even talk about something else, let's go to the ADA chart on the 4-hour, because I am aware of the fact that many of you want to know what's going on here. So after getting this very weird looking ABC structure for the 4th wave move down, we formed another 1-2 setup, and right now we are pretty much exactly at the 618 support level, which we should stay above. So if we drop below that level, the last chance to bounce would be at the 0.786, which is at 83.8 cents. If we do not manage to hold that level, then we could still get another low in the C wave, which, to be honest, would not really be the best thing in the world, because it would look like a very weird ABC structure. I mean, I don't even know how to count this if it gets another low. So getting another low right now would pretty much confirm that we are probably dropping in this zone right here between 73.9 cents and even 68 cents. But I'm saying this again, I don't think this is gonna play out, because Bitcoin is gonna get to all-time highs pretty much on a regular basis, I think, in my opinion. So I don't really see Cardano dropping below the bull market support band right now. It already found support at the bull market support band 2 times, and each time it found support there, we bounced. So I think we're finally ready to start a big move to the upside, and if we do, my next target is the red trend line on the chart, where we got rejected many times in the past, and then we need to get about the 0.786 resistance level of the supposed 4th wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4 setup to confirm that we're not gonna get a 5th wave to the downside, and to confirm that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup was enough for the C wave. So getting above 90.8 cents, which again is the 0.786 resistance level, would confirm that we're not gonna get another low, and that would also get us to the 5th wave targets, which are exactly where the 0.786 is. So that's gonna complete a 5th wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gonna complete a much bigger 3rd wave, meaning we're gonna get an ABC after that for the 4th, and then the 5th should put us maybe above the B wave high right there, which is gonna completely break us out of the downtrend. So obviously that's gonna be good, but I know I said that Cardano might get a bounce this month, and I still think it's gonna get, a move to the upside, but we might have to wait a bit longer, maybe another couple of weeks, just for Ethereum to break its all-time highs. As you know, the altcoin season usually happens after Ethereum breaks its all-time highs. That's exactly what happened in 2021, so right now we're pretty much waiting for the exact same thing, and I think this will only happen after Bitcoin gets to maybe $130,000 or even more, because for the time being we're expecting Bitcoin dominance to go up. Why are we expecting that? Because it usually goes up in October, and I would not be surprised if it happened this time as well. Keep in mind, in all the previous years when Cardano went up, for example, in 2023 or in 2024, before we went up and we had these pumps, Bitcoin dominance was actually going up, and that's what was causing this move to the downside, and this move to the downside, and even this move to the downside. So yes, it makes sense for Bitcoin dominance to go up before we get a big move to the upside, but after it gets rejected by the moving average on the weekly RSI right there, which will only happen if we manage to break below the moving average on the RSI on the weekly. As you can see, we got above it. Right now we're about to test it, and as I said last week, if we do not manage to, get below it and close below it, it could act as support, which could lead to a much bigger move, which could put Bitcoin dominance back to maybe 64% or so. But even if that happens, we're still expecting it to break down after that. So if we get to like 64%, that's pretty much going to be the last move that Bitcoin dominance gets before a move like this. I think we are ready to start the altcoin season. I think everything is lining up perfectly. By the way, that's exactly what I was saying down here as well. So I'm not really telling you lies, because we had a cross on the bull market support band, first of all, and second of all, we had a cross about 76 days ago or so, maybe 80 days ago, and this time it has already been 78 days. So if you want some other resistance levels right now, Cardano is about to test the moving average on the weekly RSI. We slightly dropped below it. We have been below it for, let's say, about 2 weeks now. So we'll see if we manage to get above it, but the chart is still looking pretty good because we keep closing wicks above the bull market support band, and that is extremely good. So I want to quickly go to the Ethereum chart again, because I think that we have bottomed in the fourth wave move down right there, meaning that I can finally give you a target for the fifth wave of the fifth wave. Right now, if we do not get another low, then the target for the fifth wave of the fifth wave is at $8,400. That's the minimum target, but of course we could overextend, but we have to be careful because that's gonna be the 618 for the fifth wave, so we're probably gonna get rejected somewhere in this area. So I'm gonna make sure to cover the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup for the fifth wave once we start going up, but for now, what we need to do on this chart is break above the moving average on the RSI right there on the weekly, so it's pretty much the exact same story as ADA. And yeah, this is still looking pretty fine. I think we are ready to get the third wave to the upside. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about here, I think the third wave right there will probably get to around $3.50, which is the 1618 of the AB structure. So the third wave to the upside, the third wave of the third wave of the third wave should get to at least $2 in my opinion. So it should get above the 1618 of the first 1-2 setup, because if we want the much bigger third wave right there to get to $3.50, the third wave of that third wave kind of has to get to at least $2. So maybe we get to the trend line right there, which connects, by the way, to the A wave high and the first wave high. Maybe we test that trend line, we get rejected, and then we get some kind of fourth wave move to the downside, which could look like this. Maybe we even use that red line right there as support, but I don't think we're gonna do that because it would be too deep for a fourth wave. And then after that we get the fifth wave. I think if everything goes well, this third wave to the upside should be finished by the time Bitcoin gets a all-time high and a cycle top, because after that Bitcoin will probably get a very big move to the downside like it always does. Let me quickly show you an example. So here we had one last cycle. We had a drop from $64,000 to about $27,000 during this time. The altcoins also went down, and if you look at the Cardano chart, it had a fourth wave move to the downside during that time, and I think the exact same thing is going to happen in this cycle as well. So I think ADA will probably get in that region by the time Bitcoin tops. Then Bitcoin is going to get that huge drop that it got last cycle and in 2017 as well, and then after that move, when Bitcoin tries to recover and maybe get some kind of B wave right there, that's when the altcoins will outperform it even more, which is going to lead to, a move like this, which should put us at about $5 to $8. That has been my prediction ever since we started making these videos, so it's not really gonna change. And I want to also give you a Bitcoin target for this cycle. I'm not gonna change my Bitcoin target either. Ever since we were at $49,000, I told you that Bitcoin is probably getting to $250,000 or $200,000 by the end of the cycle. I think that's still gonna happen, and If everything goes well, then the altcoin season should happen next month in my opinion, but it should continue until January to hopefully get between 41 to 45% on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.